on YouTube, and we can share this link. I think it's the way.
The link that you sent me on Facebook.
No, a new one.
Okay.
I sent. I give you the link on Messenger. This one.
Yeah. So I copy that link and put it on Facebook, yeah?
Yeah, you can share this one.
Okay.
L'image, c'est pas trop dégueu avec mon fond d'écran derrière. C'est pas top, hein. C'est peut-être mieux de pas en mettre. Je me rappelle où c'était. J'ai oublié où c'était. À droite. People. Ici. J'allais faire. Ouais, on peut pas quand on est en live. On peut pas quand on est en direct. Tant pis.
Essaye de pas trop. Ah, mais il faut le mettre là.
Ouais, c'est pas très grave. Okay, now I share the line on the group. Okay, I published the link. Up. Well, for the moment, I think there's maybe one or two people. Yep. Okay, I have one friend who said it's okay. And I share here and the last link here, and it's okay. Okay, well, I think we can begin.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
As we said, we try to have a conversation in French and in English because it's an exercise for me in English and an exercise for you in French. Are you always okay?
Oui, j'essaie.
Okay. First of all, I want to ask you. Okay. Well, what is your name? Is it RG, Roger, or Roger John, or maybe Elroy? Like
my name is Roger.
Roger. Okay.
My middle name is John, and my family name is nom de famille is Ellory.
Okay.
So in England, I am Roger Ellory because we don't really use a middle name like Pierre-Yves or Jean-Michel. We don't do that.
Okay.
So it's Roger Ellory, but my initials are RG. Mm-hmm. So my name that I'm published with is RG Ellory.
Okay. And when we discuss together, I say Roger?
Yes.
Okay. Because I saw some interview about you on YouTube, and you say some people calls you Elroy.
Yes. They make a mistake with my nom de famille, and people have sent me emails to say that they went into Fnac or they went into a bookshop and they picked up the latest book by Elroy, And then when they arrive on the train or they arrive home, they realize that it is not Elroy, it is Ellory, and it's a different book.
Okay, and you don't have any problem after that?
Well, I don't have any problem after that, but I have a good friend, Mark Fernandez, who published a polar magazine called Alibi.
Okay.
And he went to Los Angeles to interview James Elroy. And Elroy said, "Who is this English asshole who is using an anagram of my name to take advantage of my publicity?" And
Okay.
Mark had to explain that actually Ellory is my name legally. So, and he forgave me, you know, like the Pope.
Okay. And you have discussed with Elroy or never?
No, I've never met him. I've never met him. No, he was at Quai du Polar this year, but I was not there. So
Okay.
I didn't meet him.
Ok. Peut-être un petit peu en français ici. Donc, je vais moi parler, tu ne devras pas beaucoup parler, mais je voulais dire que pour les gens qui ne te connaissent peut-être pas encore, tu es un écrivain britannique. Tu es né en 1965 à Birmingham.
Ouais.
On te considère comme un spécialiste du roman noir, du thriller contemporain.
Ouais.
Des livres comme Seul, le silence, Omerta, Le Papillon de nuit sont des livres qui ont en tout cas marqué les lecteurs.
Ouais.
Tu as vendu énormément de livres. Tu sais combien de livres tu as vendu déjà?
Dans le monde, peut-être 11-12 millions, peut-être.
Ouais, c'est ce que j'ai trouvé aussi comme information. Je trouvais ça énorme. Alors je me suis dit, je vais te demander.
Oui, mais j'ai les livres en 26 langues et
Oui.
je vends plus de livres en français que toutes les autres langues ensemble.
Ok. Ah oui, ok.
Sans les lecteurs français, je serais SDF.
Sans le livre français, tu serais SDF.
Sans les lecteurs français,
Sans le lecteur français.
je serais SDF.
Ok, bon, merci les lecteurs français. Déjà.
Oui, exact.
Grâce à eux, tu es dans un fauteuil, c'est bien.
Ouais.
Oui, donc A Quiet Belief in Angles, c'est le nom en anglais de Seul, le silence.
En français, oui.
Oui, et ça a été traduit effectivement dans plus de 20 langues, ce livre-là. Est-ce qu'on peut dire que c'est le livre qui a fait décoller ta carrière en tant qu'auteur?
Seul le silence, c'est le premier traduit en français, mais il est le cinquième en anglais. Je commence à écrire 1987 et j'écris 24 livres. Avant, je trouve une maison d'édition.
Oui.
J'ai peut-être 500-600 lettres de refus de 100 maisons d'édition en Angleterre et États-Unis. Et il est 15 ans. Je commence en 1987 et le premier livre est publié en 2003 en Angleterre, Papillon de nuit. Et après, j'ai publié Omerta, Vendetta et Seul le silence est le cinquième en Angleterre, mais le premier en français. Et en français, il est un grand succès immédiatement.
Et tu as comment dire? Oui, tu parles de France, de lecteurs francophones dans le monde. Où tu
Oui,
parles
oui.
France.
France, Belge, Suisse et Québec.
Ok. Les histoires que tu écris sont souvent, je dirais, dans l'Amérique. profonde pour expliquer un petit peu la complexité des rapports humains, les frontières par rapport à la morale,
Oui.
à l'éthique quelque part. Est-ce que c'est quelque chose que tu souhaites ou c'est quelque chose qui s'impose à toi dans tes histoires, que ça se déroule dans ce climat-là, dans cet endroit-là? Pourquoi spécialement l'Amérique et pas peut-être l'Angleterre?
Parce que quand je suis un enfant, toute la télévision, tout le film, toute la musique et des États-Unis, la culture américaine est très forte en Angleterre pendant les années 60 et 70. Il est très intéressant pour moi. Et quand je suis enfant, je lis tous les classiques anglais, Dickens, Hardy, Bronte, et aussi Agatha Christie, Sherlock Holmes, toutes les choses comme ça. Et quand j'ai peut-être 12 ans, je lis Ne tirez pas l'oiseau moqueur. Et il est incroyable pour moi, le style, la langue, l'ambiance, l'atmosphère. Et après, j'ai découvert les grands écrivains américains, Steinbeck, Hemingway, Carson McCullers, Truman Capote, les écrivains comme ça. Et l'ambiance et l'atmosphère de ce livre est incroyable pour moi.
Okay.
Je suis fasciné par les États-Unis. Les États-Unis est comme 50 pays. Tous les États d'États-Unis est comme un pays différent. La culture, religion, politique, dialecte, toutes les choses comme ça est différente. Et vous avez CIA, FBI, Hollywood, the Kennedys, the Mafia. Vous avez les flics avec les pistoles. Vous avez couloir de la mort et les pénitentiaires. Et quand j'ai commencé à écrire, je pense qu'il est important pour moi pour écrire les sujets qui est intéressant pour moi. Et Angleterre est très familière, très normale, un peu banal peut-être. Et les États-Unis est plus intéressant pour moi. Et il est très difficile, très, très difficile. Un écrivain anglais écrit des histoires américaines. Tous les livres, j'écris le premier 24. Toutes les maisons d'édition disent à moi, il est intéressant, mais pour nous, il est trop difficile publier un écrivain anglais qui écrit les histoires américaines. Et j'envoyais les livres à la maison d'édition américaine à New York et Chicago. Et les maisons d'édition, les éditeurs disent à moi, il est très intéressant, mais il est trop difficile pour nous publier un écrivain anglais qui écrit les histoires américaines. Il est un paradoxe pour moi. Mais je continuais à écrire et le 25e livre j'écris, Papillon de nuit, et le premier j'ai publié en Angleterre. Et tous les livres j'écris avant Papillon de nuit, ne pas publier. Et tous les livres après Papillon de nuit et les nouveaux livres.
Oui, ont été publiés. Ouais, ouais. Oui, c'est vrai que les États-Unis, c'est quelque chose de plus, enfin pas de plus, mais au niveau des thématiques, au niveau des univers, c'est très très riche. Des choses
Oui,
positives, des
oui,
choses
oui,
négatives. Mais c'est vrai que
oui,
c'est très très riche. Oui.
oui, oui.
J'ai vu aussi que, changement de sujet, tu faisais de la musique.
Oui,
Est-ce que les lecteurs savent ça, que tu fais de la musique, que tu chantes et que tu joues de la guitare?
oui. Et j'ai un groupe et je fais 4 albums et j'ai fait les concerts en France, Strasbourg et Paris et en Angleterre aussi, Pays-Bas, Italie. Et il est impatient pour moi,
Ah oui.
pour 20 ans, la guitare et la musique. Ma vie est la musique, les livres. Je suis une photographiste. J'ai fait les meubles. Je suis un charpentier aussi. Toutes les choses artistiques comme ça.
Mhm. Ouais, la création, vraiment.
Oui, oui, oui.
La création.
Exact. Exact.
Peut-être une dernière petite question ici en français, puis après on va switcher un petit peu. Enfin, c'est pas vraiment une question, mais je trouvais ça rigolo parce que je te l'avais dit, il y a 2-3 semaines, j'avais eu une conversation avec Pierre-Yves Touzeau
Oui.
et j'avais demandé à Pierre-Yves Touzeau quel roman noir, aurais-tu rêvé d'écrire? Et je t'ai donné la réponse. Il avait répondu je vais parler de manière affective. Ce serait Seul le silence de Ellory. Donc,
Oui.
je te donne ici la possibilité probablement de lui répondre à son petit message parce qu'il y a quand même de fortes chances qu'il nous écoute. Donc voilà, je te laisse un petit mot que tu peux peut-être lui dire à ce sujet.
Pour le monsieur,
Oui,
I met, je ne sais pas le mot
j'ai
en français,
rencontré. J'ai
oui,
rencontré.
avec lui dans un festival depuis 2 mois peut-être.
Mhm.
Il est un homme très, très, très gentil,
Mhm.
très charmant, très intelligent, très sensitif. J'adore,
Ouais,
j'adore.
il m'a
J'ai une
montré.
bonne conversation avec lui. Oui, il est super. Il est super.
Ouais, c'était un hasard assez amusant
Oui.
parce que j'avais prévu de te parler et lui répond Ellory. Je dis c'est magique. Et voilà, je trouvais ça
Oui, c'est très
assez rigolo.
gentil. C'est très
Ouais,
gentil.
c'est chouette. Um, Maybe here a little English.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
have
because my French is like
your
une
French
vache,
is better
uh,
than my English.
une,
Absolutely.
une vache espagnole ivre.
No, no, no. I don't think so. No, no. It's seriously, it's very, very correct. You can speak French. You can. No, no.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Previously, I was a French teacher. Then I think it's very good.
Okay. Thank you.
I have I think 10 or 15 questions. I have a question or two, three words, different words, and you have
Okay.
one word to give me your answer. One word,
Okay. A
maybe
good
two
game.
if you want, but try in
Okay.
one word. You can
Okay.
answer in French or in English.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, some words are in French and some words are in English. And the first one is in French, and you can answer in French or in English. If I say solitude,
So you want me to respond with one word
yeah,
in French or in English?
yeah,
The first thing that I think of when you say the word solitude.
yeah.
Interna.
Internal?
No, interne, boarding
Okay.
school,
Okay.
school.
Okay.
When I was a child, I was in orphelina. Orphelina.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So that's the word, orphelina.
Okay. Okay. It's an interesting point. I read some lines about this period in your life. It was very interesting to understand maybe some things to understand your writing.
It explains why I'm crazy. Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe. Words in English here, you can answer in French or English. It's the same. If I say redemption, real or illusion?
Real.
Real. Okay. If I say justice,
Rare.
rare. Can you repeat?
Rare.
Okay.
Rare, meaning it doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not frequent.
Not frequent.
America, one word.
Psychotic.
Good one. Another one. Culpabilité.
Can I use two words?
Yeah, of course.
Human failing. What I mean by that
Yeah, you can.
is that taking responsibility or being culpable for the consequences of your own actions and your own decisions is probably one of the most significant causes of difficulty in all human relationships.
Mhm. I agree. Yeah, right. What's your... non, alors en français. Quel est ton personnage préféré?
Fictional or in life?
Maybe fictional. In a book, in a story, in a book. Or movie. Okay.
I'm going to be really cliched
Hmm?
and say Sherlock Holmes for his intellect, for his English humor, because he was a musician and just an astonishing creation, an incredible creation as a fictional character that's still with us 100 years later.
Mhm. Je réfléchissais en même temps que toi. Je sentais Sherlock Holmes venir dans ta réponse. Tu l'avais déjà.
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
I say I was thinking in the same time of you, and I say, okay, I think Roger will say Sherlock Holmes.
This is the these are the first polar that I read when I was very, very young, 6, 7, 8 years old. And I read the entire body of work, 4 romans and 56 nouvelles d'Arthur Conan Doyle when I was 7, 8 years old. All of them. I read all of them.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I have a question, but I think it's for after. I had two more. Um, 70s in one word. 70s.
Watergate.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Shall I tell you why?
Yeah.
Because um, it broke the illusion
Okay.
of political honesty in the United States. It really began the culture in the United States of not trusting politicians. And also because when I was very young, I watched the film All the President's Men,
Mhm.
and I decided after watching that film that I wanted to be a journalist.
Okay.
And for many years, my intention was to be a journalist. That's what I was going to do.
Hmm.
But life interrupted the plans, and I didn't go to journalism school, so I became a writer of fiction.
Hmm.
But it's interesting because a lot of the fiction that I write has a lot of journalistic research in it because it deals with events that really happened.
Hmm.
But that film and those events were very, very, very influential to me as a 8, 9, 10-year-old child.
Mm. Yeah. Yes, it's a interesting answer. I was thinking about another answer. The technology. 70s is before the technologies.
Yep.
Okay, the technologies, the modern technologies, and I like this video that I saw where you speak about that, and you say, okay, I prefer to put my story in the 70s because there are no technologies. Because for me, the
Yeah.
most important thing in a story is the character,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I like this.
So everything, pretty much everything that I've written takes place before 1990, because it wasn't until 91, 92 that we got the internet.
Yeah.
And the book that you will receive in France next year, which has already been published in England this year, is a book that covers the period from 1975 to 1990. And it's one investigation over nearly 20 years
Mhm.
by a female police officer. And the book is in 4 parts, and each part is 5 years apart.
Okay.
So in the first part, she's a police officer. In the second part, she's a detective. In the third part, she is an agent in the FBI.
Okay.
And in the fourth part, she has been working with the behavioral science unit and criminal profiling. And it's just at the beginning of computer technology becoming involved in police investigations.
Hmm.
So it's almost 20 years just before the internet becomes a tool that detectives and investigators are using. But
Hmm.
that's the point at which the book stops.
Okay. And maybe the next book.
The one after that is set in Texas in the 1950s. And I would say the book that you will receive next year is a big epic like Les Anonymes, Vendetta, Les Anges de New York, Carnival des Ombres. The book that will come in France in 27
Okay.
is more like Seul et silence,
Okay.
Chant de l'assassin. It's one character, again, a girl, and it's 7 years of her life, and it begins when she's 15 years old. But it's set in Texas in the 1950s. Again, no technology.
Okay, again, yeah, that was my question. No technologies, yeah.
Yeah,
Um, it's interesting because the focus it's always on the character,
yep,
and it's as this is what you want, always on
yep,
the character, yeah.
yep.
The relation between the characters, the evolution of the characters.
Well, the psychology of the human condition
Mm,
is the most interesting thing for me. I want to write books that you think about even when you're not reading them.
mm.
Like you think about them when you're at work, or you think about them when you're going to sleep.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You
and I
have the
also
story.
want,
Mm. You have the story in your mind.
yeah, exactly. And I also want to create characters that feel like real people.
Mm.
I want them to feel like real people. Um, I have difficulty with, I mean, I enjoy polar and I enjoy crime novels. I always have, but I have a difficulty when the character, you're reading it and you're thinking, this is not real, this is fiction.
This is not possible.
It's entertaining and you're enjoying the story, but you're not engaging on a human and personal level. And I want people to read the books and then afterwards perhaps they have questions about what happened to this character, what happened in their future, and they become attached to them in a way, like there's an emotional attachment. And after the book is finished, it's like they miss the person. It's like somebody, it was like a neighbor that un voisin that they
I,
really liked, and they
I,
moved house and they no longer see them or get to speak to them. That's important to me.
okay, yeah, of course, of course. Mhm. Here I have a question. It's the same question. Yeah, I read here. Okay, we have a member on the group Pulse Noir who
Okay.
is writing also 3 4 books, something like that, and is she's very interesting in the answer of this question. You wrote a lot before being published.
Yep.
What's the secret of your perseverance? Perseverance,
Perseverance.
perseverance.
I this may be difficult to translate into French,
Okay.
but when I was very young, my father left before I was born, so I don't know who my father is. I don't know his
Yeah.
name. I don't know anything about him. And then my mother died when I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
And my maternal grandmother became my guardian, my legal guardian. And she was a very, very strong woman.
Mhm.
She was born before the First World War. So she was a child during the First World War. And then she was in the Royal Air Force in the Second World War. And so she survived 2 wars. She lost her husband, my maternal grandfather. He drowned in the sea in 1957 when my mother was just 13 years old,
Mhm.
a teenager. And then she lost her only daughter, my mother,
Okay.
when my mother was 28 years old. So this is a woman who has lived a very, very tough life, very difficult life,
Okay.
has had a lot of challenges, a lot of problems, a lot of loss, a lot of grief, but she was very, very strong, very tough lady. And she was a teacher of piano, and she was also a teacher of ballet. She loved the music. She loved music. She loved film. She loved the theater. She was very interested in artistic endeavor. and creativity. So for her, it was perfectly acceptable for me to want to do something artistic with my life. Like if I wanted to be a painter, if I wanted to be a photographer, if I wanted to be a musician,
You
if I
have to.
wanted to be a dancer, it was okay. She didn't say, you should study to be a lawyer, you should study to be a doctor, so that if you fail as a musician, if you fail as a writer, you've always got another job. She never had that attitude. And she said something to me when I was very young. She died when I was 16 years old, 16 ans. But I remember her saying something to me when I was about 14 or 15 years old. She said, what if is the question to ask at the beginning of your life, not the end. So what she meant was that if you have a dream, if you have an idea of something that you want to do, if you have a passion, you must do it, and you must do it now. Because you don't want to get to the end of your life and be asking yourself, what if I had tried a little harder? What if I had sent my book to one more publisher? What if I had written another book? You don't want to be asking yourself those questions. And there was also a quote, a line that I found in a book. And I wrote it on a piece of paper and I put it on the wall above my desk. And the line came from a man called Benjamin Disraeli.
Okay.
And Benjamin Disraeli was the Prime Minister in England under Queen Victoria. So the end of the 1800s, he was the Prime Minister. And he said, success is entirely dependent upon constancy of purpose. So the people who succeed basically are the people who don't quit. The only people who actually fail are the people who give up. Even if you continue and continue and continue and continue for years before you achieve success, this is better than not trying or giving up and then getting to the end of your life and regretting the fact that you didn't try harder. So the simple answer is I did not have a plan B. I had no plan B. I had no other qualifications. I didn't really have a formal education. I didn't go to college. I didn't go to university. I didn't study law or medicine or anything. I just knew that I wanted to do something creative and artistic, and it could have been music. It could have been photography. It was writing. But the interesting thing is that the writing has enabled me, has made it possible for me to do all the other things that I wanted to do with my life, you know?
Yeah, of course. Of course. It's interesting. I'm looking just for one sentence too. One of the can I say just a second? It's a sentence. I'm sure you know about Samuel Beckett. In French, I know. In English, even better, even failed, etc. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's something like that. It's the same. Okay, fail, fail again, fail better.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it's a kind of message that you say here. It's okay. It's about the success for me.
There is nothing wrong with trying and failing. There is everything wrong with failing and not trying again.
And not trying, of course. I don't know if you know that, but I'm a big tennis fan. I say that. Stanislas Wawrinka,
Yeah.
yeah, Swiss guy. He never won Grand Slam, never, and I don't remember exactly 2014, something like that. He decided to have a tattoo, okay, and he wrote the sentence of Samuel Beckett, "Never fail, never blah 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 blah."
Yeah.
After
Yeah.
that, in the left hand. After that, he won 3 Grand Slam. After
Wow.
the sentence was then I like this sentence
Yeah.
for all my life. When I read this book when I was, I don't know, 12, 14, something like that, for the first time, and this sentence is very very, it's absurd, but for me the absurd is the normality.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree. I agree completely.
um Maybe I have another question from bam, bam, bam. Okay. My cat. You hear my cat?
Yeah.
30
Yeah.
minutes before. The name of my cat. Try to find.
You,
Try to
I
find.
have. You.
How?
You want me to
Try to find the name of my cat.
try to find the name of your cat?
Yeah.
I mean.
I love tennis. I love tennis. I have
Okay.
2 cats. The first one is Roger. Is right. And the second one, I wanted Rafa, but the children say no Rafa. Then okay, I have one
Okay.
Roger.
Okay. And
And
what's the other one called?
sorry?
And what is the other cat called?
Oh, Tigri. Tigri. A cat name.
Okay.
A very cat name.
Okay.
But I have
Okay.
Roger. I don't know where, but Roger is here. He's asleep.
Somewhere.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
asleep always. It's a cat. Um,
That's great.
yeah. That, now, Roger Federer, it's over, but I can say every day in my life, Roger, and I'm happy. Je regarde encore un petit peu. Yes. We talk about Everglades a little,
Okay.
if you want. I read the book, I think, 2-3 days after it was in Belgium, directly, immediately. But I think there's a lot of people who don't have read the book, actually. Then, not about the story, that etc., but why you have decided to speak about this death penalty and justice. What led you to explore this theme?
I wanted to write a book. Okay. So when I write a book, I write with no plan,
Yeah.
with no synopsis, no outline, no structure. I just decide on the location and the time period.
Okay.
I choose a state and I choose a time period because there's something about it that is interesting to me. And then I have a very simple idea, like one sentence, which describes the story that I want to write. And then the third thing I decide, which for me is the most important thing, is what emotion do I want you to feel? You know?
Yeah.
And for this book, the sentence, the basic idea, was to tell the story of a man who has spent his whole life in law enforcement. And I wanted to put him in a situation where he began to understand that there's a great difference between the law and justice. So I want to put ordinary individuals in extraordinary situations, like a Hitchcock film.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm very passionate about that kind of storytelling. Take an ordinary person, put them in an extraordinary situation. It's why I write crime novels, because you put an ordinary person in a very stressful, difficult, or traumatic situation, and it gives you an opportunity to write about all human emotions. That's what's interesting. So then I thought, okay, I want to put this guy in an environment where he's in a prison, in a penitentiary, and he kind of winds up there. He ends up there almost. It's not really a conscious choice. It's sort of. It's not his. It's. He didn't make a decision to do it, a conscious decision to do it. He does it because he can no longer be a police officer. But I also wanted the prison to be in an environment that was another prison. So it's like a prison within a prison. And I also wanted to create an atmosphere of great tension where even the people who work there feel as though they're trapped. So it creates an environment where you're challenging an individual's understanding of the law, justice, humanity, good, evil, salvation, redemption, the whole issue of the death penalty, like what is it about killing people that proves that killing people is wrong? All of this kind of subject makes it very interesting to write about from the viewpoint of an ordinary human being. That's what I wanted to do. But once I've made my 3 decisions about a book, I think of the opening scene. How is this story going to begin? And I start writing. And then I just write every day, every day, every day, every day. And I decide what's going to happen in the book while I'm writing. So I will write for 5 or 6 or 7 hours each day. I never read anything that I wrote yesterday. And I just keep on writing the story and writing the story until it's finished, until I come to the end. And I'm thinking about it all the time while I'm writing it. Like I can wake up in the middle of the night and have an idea and write it down and then go back to sleep, you know? It's a very kind of spontaneous process for me. And each day I write until I feel as though I have done a good day's work, but I don't stop writing each day until I have an idea of what I'm going to be writing tomorrow.
Okay. It's the opposite way of Pierre-Yves Touzeau. He said, I'm an architect. I have a plan, I follow my plan, etc. And you are the strict opposite of this process.
And it's interesting because sometimes I'm asked to go and speak to groups of writers, perhaps in a bibliothèque or collège, and there's people who are writing or want to write. And I talk to them about Hemingway and Steinbeck and Truman Capote and Kurt Vonnegut. And I have a book of interviews. It's an anthology, a collection of interviews from the Paris Literary Review magazine.
Okay.
Of interviews with all of these guys, Kurt Vonnegut and Capote and Steinbeck and Hemingway and so and so and so and so. And in every interview, the interviewer asks about their process. How do they write? And so I read sections from this book, from these interviews of these great writers, to the students and to these writers, because every single process is different. Every single process is their own.
Yeah, there is no real school.
No, there's no right way to do it. There's no wrong way to do it. You know, if you want to spend 10 years writing a book, spend 10 years writing a book. If you want to write a book in 10 weeks, you know, it doesn't make, just because you spent 10 years writing a book doesn't make it a better book. It's just, that's just your process. It doesn't make it a worse book. It's just your process, you know?
Yeah, for the people who want to write a book one day, it's always a question. Are you architect? Are you more spontané?
Yeah.
I don't know, etc. But the can I? You say that, and Pierre-Yves say that also. You have to write every day. Every day
Yeah.
you have to write 100 pages. Maybe after that there are 25 good pages. Okay, you have 25 good pages, but continue to write.
Well, I think my viewpoint is that a creative faculty, a creative ability, a creative skill is like a muscle, and you have to exercise it. And if you exercise it, it will get stronger. So even if you write half a page today, 2 pages tomorrow, 20 pages the next day, 1 page the next day, if you're exercising the muscle, your creative muscle every day, then it will get stronger.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you wrote 10 pages a week, after a year, you would have 500 pages.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So to have 500 pages at the end of a year, you only need to write 1.5 pages each day. You don't have to put some great pressure or some great demand on yourself. And the worst thing that you can do is compare yourself to somebody else.
Yeah.
There's a great line from an Indian philosopher called Krishnamurti, who said, "A life of comparison is a life of misery."
Yeah.
You do what you do, the way that you do it. The way that you do it, you're the only person who can do that. Nobody else can do that, you know? I mean, I remember years ago when I first started recording in a studio with a band, writing songs and recording, I wasn't a great guitar player. I'm still not a great guitar player. I'm better, but at the beginning I was pretty lousy. I thought so. And I worked with a very, very experienced musician and producer, a famous guy, a really, really good guy who owned his own recording studio. And he'd played with some amazing bands and he'd recorded everybody that you can imagine. And I was making some comment about my shitty guitar playing, what I said. And he said, no. He said, you play the way that you play. That's unique. That's yours. Nobody else can play like that. So just enjoy the fact that you are doing something only you can do. You know, you have to set your own standards, and you have to practice and rehearse, and you have to write every day, and you will get better and better and better. I mean, I look now at the books that I published years ago, and they're too long. They're too long. I repeat myself. I over-explain things. If I had the chance to write those books again, they would be shorter. So one thing I've learned from many, many years of writing is how to say more with less words.
Yeah.
I've learned how to do that, but that's from experience. I've also learned after 20 books that when it comes to writing a second draft, or when it comes to proofreading, I can assume the viewpoint of a reader.
Mm.
And I can go, this is boring. This needs to be changed because I'm not interested in this anymore. And I've learned to separate the two points, a writer and a reader, and read my own work like a reader and go, no, don't like that. It's boring. And not make a criticism of myself,
Mm-hmm.
but just recognize that I could do better.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I fix it, and then it's better, and I'm happier with it. You know, the
Yeah.
only person whose standards you really have to meet are your own.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We have a French artist in France. Maybe you don't know. It's MC Solar. It's a guy who rap, okay, style rap. And one sentence is, I think, interesting. It's imitation is limitation,
Yep.
and
Yep.
that's
Yep.
what you said.
You know, it's like Oscar Wilde said, be yourself. Everybody else is taken.
C'est pas mal ça. I like it.
Yep.
I'm looking here. Maybe I have one or two questions from the group. Which of your books is the closest to your heart? The one you are more proud of? Annelise asked.
That's an interesting question because it's like asking a father with 20 children, which one does he love the most? I have to say
the future one.
the next. I have to say that the one that is closest to me, the one that I think is most important and most significant for my life, is Seul et silence.
Okay.
Why? Because the success of that book enabled me to travel the world. The book was translated into 26 languages.
Yeah.
And I spent 7 months traveling. I went to 62 cities in 12 different countries: France, Italy, Spain, Holland, Belgium, all across America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Turkey. I traveled the world for 7 months talking about that book.
Yeah.
It enabled me for the first time in my life to get a place to live that was my own.
Mm.
Because before that, my wife and my son and I lived in one room.
Okay.
And we slept and we ate and whatever in one room. And I worked with a keyboard of a computer on my lap. I had no table.
Okay.
After that book was published, we had some money, not a huge amount of money, but we had enough money to
live
to
better.
make a payment towards our own home, and that was the first time we had a home that was our own. So, from a literary point of view, it's a book that is very dear to me. But from a personal point of view, as far as my life is concerned, it changed everything about my life, but it also gave me the ability to continue being a writer. Because just before I published Seul et silence in England, my publisher had said to me, you've published 4 books. They have not been a good success. We're going to publish one more. And if this is not a good success, then we can't publish you anymore.
Last
So,
chance.
and now here I am 20 years later, and I'm still able to do something that I love with my life. And that is because of Seul et silence. That changed everything, you know?
From a letter.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Yep.
From a letter around the world,
Yep.
from a letter.
Yep. Exactly.
I read Seul le silence one time, and last week I began the second time.
Okay.
But I'm not finished, but the second time. Yeah, a question here, but I have the same before. Did the Green Mile or how can I walking Dead Man Walking? You remember this movie, Dead Man Walking?
Oh yeah, with Sean Penn,
Yes, and the Green Mile
Susan
inspired.
Sarandon, and Sean Penn, and then the Green Mile,
Exactly.
Stephen King.
Did you inspire for Everglades these two stories or not?
Not directly. I've not read The Green Mile. I've not read the book. I saw the film many, many, many years ago. I think when it was released. And I saw Dead Man Walking a long, long, long time ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago. The first book I published, Papillon de Nuit, was also set in a prison.
Okay.
Death Row. That was a book that was written in 2002, 2002, and that was long before I saw The Green Mile. And when I was writing this book, Everglades, I wanted to explore again a book about the death penalty and death row, but tell it from a different point of view.
Yeah.
So, and I've watched other films. I mean, probably more accurately, the interest in writing another book about death row was inspired more by De Sang-Froid than The Green Mile or Dead Man Walking. De Sang-Froid by Truman Capote is a book I have read 5 times, 6
Okay.
times. It's the book I wish I had written.
Oh. Normally, this is my last question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
problem.
sorry.
No problem. But I read it. It's the
And
song.
it's a book I have written. I have read 5 or 6 times. I also remember the first time I saw the film Capote with Philip Seymour Hoffman.
I don't know this movie.
Oh, it's such a good film. It's such a good film. It's a wonderful, wonderful film. And Philip Seymour Hoffman was one of my favorite actors.
And the name
I
of the
thought he was
movie is
Capote. Capote.
okay.
And it's the story of Truman Capote
Mhm.
writing De Sang-Froid
Okay.
and his relationship with the prisoners on death row. And he visits them on death row. And it's a very, very moving, very, very powerful film. Wonderful film. Extraordinary performance from Philip Seymour Hoffman. And as far as I remember, he won the Oscar for it. But just an extraordinary performance. And I've seen that film 4, 5, 6 times as well. I watch it once a year or once every 2 years because it's so good. And I think, honestly, the interest in writing another book about death row was probably inspired more by De Sang-Froid, the book, and the film about Capote than anything else.
Mm. Yeah. Yes, I wrote this Capote, the song. Yeah.
Yep.
Never saw.
Yeah, you should watch that. Definitely
Yeah,
watch that.
I do. Two last questions en français. Comme ça, peut-être ça va permettre à des gens. Et toi, tu vas travailler un petit peu ton français comme ça aussi. Est-ce que tu écoutes de la musique quand tu écris? Toujours,
Non.
jamais, un petit peu,
Non.
rien?
Non, silence.
Seul le silence.
Non, silence. Ah, seul le silence, oui. Absolument. Je déteste les distractions.
Ouais, distraction, divertissement, distraction.
Les les mots. Je ferme la porte et je suis dans l'univers de la livre avec les personnages, l'histoire, l'ambiance, l'atmosphère. Non, musique, c'est impossible pour moi. Écoute la musique quand j'écris. C'est
Ok.
impossible.
Mm.
Après, je fais les dîners, j'écoute la musique. La musique est dans la maison, toujours dans la maison, et je joue la guitare chaque jour, 1 heure, 2 heures, 3 heures, parfois. Mais pendant que j'écris, non, silence.
Mhm.
Total silence.
Ouais, c'est marrant. Ouais, tout le monde est différent, hein. Il y a les écrivains
Oui.
architectes, les écrivains spontanés, les écrivains qui mettent une musique, je ne sais pas, stress quand il y a quelque chose qui se passe, angoisse, et puis, ou alors une musique d'amour quand il y a une rencontre, et on se fait aider par la musique, et il y en a qui écrivent dans le silence. Ouais. C'est...
If I have music while I'm working, I cannot hear the voices in my head.
Hmm. Ouais, ouais. Il y aura trop de monde. Il y aura trop de monde.
Oui.
Ouais. Tu as cité ici de sang-froid. Est-ce que cette année, tu as eu l'occasion de lire un livre que tu as beaucoup aimé? Et si c'est oui, c'est pas obligé. Si c'est oui, quel est le livre que tu as lu cette année, que tu as beaucoup aimé?
Cette année,
Ouais.
je lis un livre pour la deuxième fois. Un livre j'adore.
La femme de ménage.
Euh, les écrivains écosse avec le nom William Boyd, B-O-Y-D. Et le livre, le titre en anglais est Any Human Heart.
Ok.
Any Human Heart by William Boyd. Je lis ce livre depuis 6-7 ans. Et cette année, je lis encore et il est super. J'adore.
Ok.
Le deuxième fois, j'adore
Plus? More?
plus que la première fois.
Ok. Et il existe en français, tu sais pas?
Oui, 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 oui,
Oui. Ok.
oui.
Peut-être c'est des. Je sais que dans le groupe, il y a
C'est
des.
une histoire. C'est une histoire. Ce n'est pas vrai, mais il est l'autobiographie d'un écrivain anglais. Toute la vie de cet homme, les aventures, les mariages, les enfants, la vie d'un homme très extraordinaire, très complexe, un écrivain, et il habite en Londres, à Paris, toutes les places du monde. Et la Deuxième Guerre mondiale, histoire d'espionnage, les livres, il écrit les succès, les catastrophes, toutes les choses de la vie de cet homme. Et c'est super. J'adore.
Hmm. J'ai trouvé le titre en français, c'est À livre ouvert. Any Human Heart, À livre ouvert, William Boyd,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great book.
2002. Ouais.
Yeah.
Ok, je connaissais pas du tout. Bah, ça peut. On a dans le groupe ici, Pulse Noir, on a des gens qui lisent. J'en ai un ou deux en tête. Bon, après, il faut avoir le temps aussi, mais il y a la passion. Ils arrivent quand même à lire 20 livres par mois, 25 livres par mois. Et donc,
Wow.
oui, c'est beaucoup. Et ils retiennent ça, et puis ils expliquent un petit peu ce qu'ils ont lu pour donner envie. Et c'est pour ça ici, j'ai créé un prix pour Pulse Noir. Pour la première année de Pulse Noir, il y a un prix. Et j'ai des lecteurs. Il faut lire 16 livres. J'ai 20 lecteurs. Et j'ai donné les livres il y a un mois, je crois. Et j'ai déjà reçu quelqu'un qui me dit bon, bah, j'ai fini. J'ai fini de lire. J'ai dit, mais ça fait un
Wow.
mois. J'ai dit, c'est beaucoup, 16 livres. Oui,
C'est
non, ça va.
incroyable. C'est
Oui,
incroyable.
moi, je sais. Allez, un livre par semaine, comme ça, j'essaye de lire, tu vois, ou 3 par mois, comme ça. Mais
Wow.
donc voilà, c'est pour ça que je te demande un livre, parce que probablement, il y a des gens qui cherchent déjà quelque chose à lire. Alors,
C'est un boulot.
ah oui, oui, lire autant, c'est un boulot, oui, ça, c'est clair. S'il était payé, il
Wow.
serait riche, quoi.
Oui.
Mais sinon, ben, en tout cas, moi, je tiens à te remercier pour ta disponibilité.
Avec plaisir. Avec plaisir.
C'est
Et
vraiment, vraiment...
désolé pour la langue.
Non, non, c'est très, très bien. Et puis,
Mon franglais.
franglais.
Oui.
Et normalement, alors la semaine prochaine, toi, tu seras, enfin, dans 10 jours maintenant, un peu plus, tu seras à Iris Noir à Bruxelles,
Oui.
où là, on se rencontrera. Je serai là aussi, et pas mal de gens du groupe aussi feront le déplacement et viendront, j'espère, faire une petite discussion avec toi, leur faire signer un livre ou quelque chose comme ça. C'est des chouettes expériences de rencontrer des auteurs pour des gens qui sont passionnés de lecture. C'est des moments assez riches, assez rares.
Super. C'est un bon festival. J'adore. Et l'organisateur, Marco et JP et Salvatore, c'est super. C'est
Ils font du bon
incroyable.
boulot. Hein.
J'adore ce festival.
Ils font du bon travail. Hein.
Depuis 16 ans, je fais les tours en France pour les dédicaces, pour les libraires, les bibliothèques, les médiathèques, tous les festivals. Je pense maintenant peut-être 180 vies en France et aussi Bruxelles, beaucoup des fois, et peut-être 100 festivals. Suisse, Belge, Luxe, et en France, les salons de livres. Et Iris Noir, c'est très spécial. Ambiance, atmosphère, les personnes, les lecteurs, c'est super. J'adore.
Allez, chouette. Bah, ça fera plaisir aux organisateurs et ça motivera des gens à venir découvrir, s'ils sont jamais venus, de venir découvrir. En plus, cette année, c'est dans un nouvel endroit.
Oui.
C'est un endroit où moi, je suis sorti il y a 25 ans maintenant, comme ça. C'était une boîte de nuit, tu vois,
Oui.
à la base. Donc, j'ai fait beaucoup de fêtes là-bas. Et là, ça va être plus calme avec l'iris noir, mais c'est amusant je vais voir l'endroit différemment, quoi. C'est plus studieux, quoi. Mais,
Oui, c'est super.
Écoute,
Bien. C'est bon. Et merci mille fois. Merci infiniment pour votre soutien, votre gentillesse. Et à bientôt.
Ah bah, à la semaine prochaine.
Oui, à la semaine prochaine.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger.
OK, au revoir. Merci.
Bye bye.